Hello, people from the internet. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am here trying to stream from the Steam Deck for the very first time. I have had this for over a year now, almost 2 years. No, not almost 2 years, but it's been over a year. I did buy it in February, but I only got it until like July or June. June. Yeah. Um, Anyway, part of the reason why um part of the reason why I got it was to stream. If I ever got the chance to travel, I could stream technically. Um since I got it, I haven't really had the chance to travel, and I don't think I'll be traveling anytime soon. But I did have it still, of course, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit. But it is only until now that I can put it to the test when it comes to streaming. I had a thing happen with my computer. Last couple of weeks, I've been having some issues with the computer and deadlock, where deadlock was causing it to hard crash BSOD. Pretty bad stuff. And yesterday I played deadlock all day pretty much, and there was no problem. But like literally no problem. I played like 6 or 7 matches probably. No blue screen of death. No problem. Everything was okay. Um, Today, however, I played one match and it crashed. And I was like, oh, okay, that sucks. I'm gonna be placed in low priority again, etc., etc. But to my surprise, what ended up happening is that the computer just didn't give me video output again. Like the computer crashed and I turned it off and I tried turning it back on and oh surprise, no video up to output. So something about this setup looks like it's a video recorded and edited on mobile. It kind of is. I mean, this is the streaming layout that I had when I um in my old computer. So when I got the Steam Deck, I just ported it, and I when I was configuring OBS, and I didn't really update it now today. I guess I can get rid of the text, but yeah. For the for tiles, it should be just the same as always because I did play around with that a little bit. Is this offline crawl? No, I'm watching someone play. Um, I'm expecting someone in console. I was just gonna start playing right away, but I decided to trim my fingernails because I was playing around with the keyboard a little bit, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. Yeah, you can tell because of the name. If the name is not Nine Settler or Nine Settler 2 or something along those lines, it is not me. Um, yeah, in some videos, I expectate some other people whenever I'm talking. The name is why you thought that was online. Oh, I see. But no, it is being played through the console in the Steam Deck because the console in Linux is kind of magical. It already has SSH, so you don't have to get potty. The downside is that it didn't have Lucida console. It had another font called Hack, which is kind of like Lucida console, but not quite the same. Um, I think this might be the font that I used all those years ago to play NetHack and Crawl originally. Because when I first got into Crawl, I got into Crawl um, in Linux. So most of my early crawling it was in my Linux laptop. Windows has SSH by default for you. You played online in a different terminal instead of PuTTY. You used PowerShell or something. I've not tried that. But when it comes to playing crawl on my Windows PC, I always used PuTTY. funny thing that the two people playing Crawley in console are idle. And I have not finished trimming my fingernails yet, but I'm almost done. And it's a shame what happened with the other computer. The worst part is that I cannot really afford to replace the graphics card. So that is a big problem for me. Yeah. Would be nice if I was to fill that donation bar, which I guess it's not here. Do I have the donation bar? Like for me to easily add to the hmm. Oh, I do. Monthly goal. So it's supposed to be 100, and that is supposed to be for like daily expenses. But I think that it's gonna go to the graphics card if I can't get it somehow. You could use Putty, but it was clunky to set up, and you couldn't set the font you wanted to set at the time. Really? I have not run into issues changing the font in Putty. Never. I always just use Lucida console, which I think comes with Windows. Do you know what exactly happened to the card? Not really. I mean, it was working earlier today. Like I literally just woke up and turned the computer on, and it was fine. And then I played some Deadlock, and then it hard crashed, as it had already happened a couple of times already. Um, but then it didn't turn back on again, and I tried resetting the power connectors to the graphics card because I had tried that before and it had worked. I also tried changing the orientation of the computer because I had also tried that before and it had worked. Like it was horizontal, the actual computer, and I turned it vertically. And the first time that happened, I had it vertically and I put it horizontally and it was fine. Um, but it still hasn't worked. And after that, I kind of just gave up and set up the Steam Deck. So right now, that's what I'm using. And so far, like I mean, it's going well. I don't see any issues with the stream or anything. Potty says drop frames 0, so kind of is working. Um, I hope it stays like that. I really want it to stay like this to just keep working. Hold on a second, because I wanna move the Steam Deck around a bit. I'm a little bit afraid of it disconnecting or something. All right. It seems that the network cable didn't disconnect. I'm still online. And I have finished trimming my fingernails, so now I can use the keyboard the way that one is supposed to. So let's get out here and let's press this button. And I have to say that I'm not a big fan of how this terminal looks. I'm not used to it. Can I make it larger somehow? Not like that. I mean, just like that, but it also messes up with my lines. Hmm. I hope that works fine. Was it last week having no streams related to the card? No, it was not related to the card. I just didn't really feel like I had anything to stream for. I had nothing to show on stream, so that's why there were no streams last week. Or well, there was a stream on Monday and on Tuesday, but there was no one in the chat, so I was like, might as well take the rest of the week off. Okay, so you didn't see me create this character. It's a Deep Elf Hedge Wizard. I'm not going to use anything from that book of hexes because they're hexes and hexes are garbage, as everyone knows. Oh no, my macros. Wait, no, okay, that's fine. We are going to need like 8 of these. Wizard starts with a lot of spellcasting. So yeah, first stream on the Steam Deck. You know what? I probably shouldn't have been tabbing this null, but it seems like I'm winning, so I'm gonna keep going. And somehow I beat a null as a level 1 Deep Elf. I guess I'm just gonna learn everything. So for this you need to charge it up. I don't know exactly how the charging up works. I'll try casting it next time I see something. 1 out of 3 uses available. Okay, so I wonder if the game will give me a message along the lines of, okay, you can now cast it 2 times. No, it's still 1 of the 3 uses. Oh, you have harvested enough death to cast Graveclaw an additional time. We got an Acrobat Amulet. Intelligence. Particle Phase has just 2 combos left to win. Good Alchemist already in progress and Coglin Earth Elementalist. Finally, he's been doing that for years. He started streaming a while after I did, like maybe like a year or 2 after I did. And when he started, he already had more combos than I will ever had. He had like 200 or so. But yeah, he's been streaming so much, and he's been grinding at that, which is crazy. I don't know how you do that as much as he has done. Finding a black bear on D2 is pretty bad. I'm out of juice for Graveclaw, of course, so I guess that we just walk away. Definitely not fight that. Definitely not fight that, as I was saying. I think that I just skipped this level. I don't really know how to deal with that. I have meth. Maybe I could try to meth it. It does have a 22% chance to fail, which would be pretty bad. Astonishingly dangerous to miscast. I think that astonishingly dangerous means that it can kill me. Up to 14 irresistible or electric damage. Oh. No, I don't have to do that. But I would really like to not leave this level. Be disappointed by the fact that Graveclaw didn't kill the bear. I kind of needed it too. I was banking on that. Beog ne Morokawaru. Well, that's not thing that we care about. Demonic Plant. What's on the mind of people who want all combos? Yeah, me too. Sindragor used to be in the chat a lot when I streamed in the mornings, but the current time doesn't really work for Sindragor, so I haven't seen him around in a bit. Not to mention with the whole invasion of Ukraine, it's been pretty difficult for him to be on stream or anywhere on the internet. So yeah. But if Sindragor was around, you could ask him, since he's done that as well. He did it in an old version, so he doesn't have all currently available combos. But very few people who have won all combos also have won all currently available combos. They often just quit when that happens. Hello, Jonas. Thank you for stopping by. This feels so strange. I don't know if I have extra latency from the setup that I have because I cannot connect the mouse and the keyboard to the Steam Deck directly, right? So I have a hub that I can use to connect speakers, a charger. I can use it to connect the network cable, and another hub, which is my monitors hub, which has a couple of USB ports where my keyboard and mouse are connected. Um, so I don't know if all the hubs make it so that there's a lot of latency, but it feels a little bit laggy. Definitely feels less snappy than if I was playing in the Windows computer. So I don't know what's up with that. Um, Amulet of Faith. Grinder. You know what? I don't think we want to deal with Grinder. We found Fireball and Dragon Skull. Okay, I said that I don't want to deal with Grinder. Grinder still appears. That is inconvenient. This D2 is the one with the bear, right? What is going on with Graveclaw? Okay, I can cast it 3 times. So maybe if I Graveclaw the bear 3 times, I can kill it with very little pain. Okay, it went berserk next to me. At that point, I definitely got scared, and I was like, nope. Just went for the third Graveclaw, and that got the job done. I don't know. I don't dislike the spell, the Graveclaw spell. I feel like it's kind of cool that it is a strong spell with a limiter, so that you cannot just spam it, but it is still a powerful early game resource to have access to. I think it's pretty cool design. Yeah, I still don't want to deal with Grinder, please. Spilo, thank you for stopping by. Oof. Has to skip D3, and then D4 has a 2-floor shaft. But I immediately make it back up. All right, not bad. That could have been a lot worse. How does the audio sound, like my voice and stuff? Not that there's a lot that I could do about it, but I am curious if it's like noticeably worse than usual or anything. You don't notice a difference? Okay, if you don't notice a difference, then that's nice. Because if it was borked, there's really is not a lot that I can do about it. I'm gonna get some conjurations and fire magic so I can cast fireball. Hello, Plotny. Thank you for stopping by. Oh boy, okay. I might be dead. Oh, nice teleport. Deep Elf Hedge Wizard. I wish I was a Conjurer. Oh boy, okay, now I'm super dead. This was not survivable. No, no random pick. I was like, okay, there's a lot of great spells nowadays. How bad could it really be? The answer is very bad. Yeah, there was nothing to do there. Man, Wizard sucks still. I have no idea why I chose to go Wizard this time. Let's do Conjurer. Yeah, Wizard is very, very bad. My recommendation is to not play Wizard. Um, since they don't start with good spells, they start with a lot of really, really underwhelming spells. No one spell that makes you feel like, oh yeah, this is what I build around. Um, you've been trying Demon Spawn Necromancer? You know, I just noticed something terrible with this chat window that I have. It is pretty borked, man. Okay, so this is extra rough because unlike my normal setup, which has two monitors, this one only has one monitor. Um, so what happens with the chat window is that um, yeah, I cannot resize it properly. Oh no. Well, that is going to be quite annoying. So annoying, in fact, that I should maybe use my phone for the chat. I hope it doesn't run out of battery. Even this guy has bad luck, like you and I sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it is like that often, actually. I have less than 50% win rate in recent times. Post crawl break, I definitely have less than 50% win rate. Um, Pre break, I had less than that. I had like 30%. You want a team expect a wizard to start with good spells? Wizards start weak and learn spells during the game. Well, the thing is that you start with a book that lets you learn a couple of good spells. That's how it works. At least in Crawl, that's how it works. How exactly am I supposed to see my chat in the application? I don't really use this application. I have it on my phone, but I don't really use it. Okay, there we go. I figured it out. You haven't been playing Crawl much, but the urge to keep playing humans when you do remains. Why? Why would you submit yourself to that? Well, anyway, we are ready to continue. I'm gonna need like 7 spellcasting. No, that's a bit too much. Let's go for 5. And this is gonna be better. But last time I think I played Elementalist. This time Conjurer is gonna be pretty easy to play. Oh, you know what? In the Steam Deck, I have not logged into Twitch, and I need to log into Twitch to crop um, the previous debuff that I played the other day. Haven't done that, and I need to do it so I can put it on YouTube. Hmm. What do we have here? Staff of Cold. See, for comparison, Hedge Wizard doesn't get level 4 spells to start the game. And the level 3 spell that it has is Meth, which is not the greatest. It's also really difficult to cast because it's level 3, but it's 3 schools. So you need to get the 3 schools to the point where you would normally need to have them to cast a level 3 in order to cast that. So it's super expensive to get going. Um, you really appreciate me putting those runs on YouTube. If you do, don't forget to comment because that apparently helps. And funnily enough, funny that you mentioned that because since I came back to putting crawl on YouTube, I have noticed that like the crawl videos don't get as much viewership as the Rift Wizard videos. With the Rift Wizard videos, I could get 400, 500 views within like the usual live time of video being like the newest video, right? Which was like 3 days. With crawl, it's difficult for the video to reach 200. It often doesn't happen. I wouldn't be surprised if the newest one that I had put had not reached 200, let alone 100. So yeah, I mean it doesn't matter a lot. It's not like YouTube is paying me or anything. Technically, I have monetization enabled, but I have always said that YouTube money is a myth. Doesn't really exist. Yeah, Death is really nice, but it doesn't win the early game by itself. Yeah, nothing that Wizard has wins the early game by itself, and in combination, it's not like they do very well either. So I'm not a fan of Wizard in general. And I thought that it would be better, but still getting to the point where you can learn the new spells that exist in the game is really rough. Graveclaw is cool, but I don't know what happened there. Graveclaw was just not enough. I got a miscast on Seating Ray. 1% miscast, by the way. Rift Wizard starts with the Polearm on-rand. Ha! Rift Wizard starts with the Polearm on-rand. Man, Rift Wizard is so good. I wonder if I could stream Rift Wizard on the Steam Deck. Haven't played Rift Wizard 2 in a while, and it's gotten some updates, including an update that removes, well, doesn't remove, but makes it so that you can get weird levels where there's no modified enemies. Instead of that, there's a lot more non-modified enemies, which is kind of exciting because I'm not a fan of modified enemies. I really, really, really don't like modified enemies. Hey, let's go. We killed Terence. Easy peasy. What do we have here? Nothing. Okay. The other day I got a bolt of youth with a ton of hammers. Do you remember that? There even was a really good hammer Randart, which I think I ended up using for the whole game. Talking about things to use for maybe the whole game. This is a pretty good thing to have. This War Axe. The willpower is definitely quite neat. And if you're wondering about what god am I going to go for? Well, it might be boring, but I'm gonna be going Behemoth again because I really don't think that there is other ways to play Deep Elf other than going Behemoth. I mean, you can probably make it work with other gods that are not Behemoth, but why do that when Behemoth is the best one? In my opinion, that is the case. Behemoth is just the best one for Deep Elf. You get a lot of mana regen, and you also get a lot of mana regen from Behemoth, so yeah. Just a lot of mana so you can mana while you mana. This has 9 mana, talking about mana, so I guess I'm just gonna grab it. I'm gonna use it. And now I have 24 mana, which is quite a lot for an early game character, of course. Also, Robin had a helmet. Why haven't I put it on? Raw willpower. Neat. Extra upgrades. Ring of Dexterity, better than not having anything. Though not by a lot. Stats only really do a lot when you start having the skill to make them do, something. Your currently saved run is Human Earth Elementalist of Death. Just cleared Lair and you don't have any usable AoE spells memorized, so you left it for later. That is a very common experience for an Earth Elementalist. When it comes to AoE spells, they don't really get that much. LRD, I suppose, but LRD is not a common spell to see since you don't start with it anymore. And because you don't start with it, you also like there's very few books that have it, so it's pretty rough. Um, what is not rough, however, is going through the early game with Scorch and 25 mana. Like I'm never running out of mana, especially not with the mana regen that these guys have, Deep Elves. So right now I have 0.38 mana regen per turn. Funnily enough, I have more mana regen than normal regen. Um, yeah, this is pretty silly. Okay, we got 8 conjurations. Why do I have ice magic? Oh, because of the staff. Let's get more spellcasting. I got Cactus Giant, and Cactus Giant is a pretty good spell. Maybe I should learn it. I have Flame Wave, Prism, Mystic Blast. I am going to learn Mystic Blast. Of course, I'm gonna learn Mystic Blast. It is a really strong spell, and hopefully I can find the suite of translocation spells that I got the other day. Gale's Gabot, or what was it called? It was called Gale's Gabot, right? The one that redirects gravity so that it makes monsters hit the wall. That one was really fun to use. I very much enjoyed that spell. I absolutely loved it. We have a Grave Claw early enough that it's actually worth picking up, and we're gonna get a little bit of Necromancy for it after I get my spell casting. Oh, Short Sword of Electrocution is also an okay thing to have. +2 gloves. Okay. Game's spoiling me with the loot. Not bad. Was that a temple? If it was, I completely missed it. So let's see. Yes, it was a temple. It even had arrows. But it's not like I'm missing a lot because it's a Luganu temple. Of course, it is the corrupted temple. It has Behemoth anyway, so we go Behemoth. And man, this terminal configuration is pretty weird for me. I definitely need to play around with it. I hope that this does not become my streaming setup long term. I really just want to go back to my Windows computer instead of the Steam Deck. But I mean, at least I can stream if I can't go back to the Windows computer. You're getting closer to winning Lunatic 1cc. This attempt died at the last spell and the final boss. Rough. You already get it if you played more, but it's hard to sit down for long without being annoyed because your game plan improves in both restarting until your early game is near perfect. Sounds like me when I play Streets of Rage 4. You know what? I should probably just leave because I took a lot of damage from that guy. That's rough. It's not a great position to be in. I'm gonna try casting Mystic Blast. Okay, it works. Yeah, it works good enough. Come on. Okay, I got robustness of a potion of mutation. Found curing, and there we go. Pretty rough, pretty rough. Robust and Shoutitis, but Shoutitis doesn't matter and Robust does matter. Let's see if I can kill Piquel. I think I should be able to. Like, I feel kind of strong. Maybe I can kill Piquel. You just need to dodge what you can dodge and bomb literally everything else. Yeah, that's usually how it works. Just dodge what you can dodge and then bomb what you cannot dodge. what you don't know how to dodge. Beautiful. That was great. Now I have Graveclaw at my disposal as well. We get Steam skills, but I'm not going to bother with the Steam skills. By the way, a bit surprising that I found two different +2 pairs of globes. I don't know where all of that came from. Um, I'm not gonna complain because having two is miles better than having zero, even if I can only make use of one. Um, okay, easy peasy. And now we continue training, or we actually go for training translocations. Um, Yeah, we have found an actual good suite of early game spells. I think that Fire or Wizard would be way better if one of its level 2 spells was a Scorch. Imps are completely worthless. Graveclaw is fine, but it is not something that you can spam. Scorch, on the other hand, is something that you can spam, so it is a great thing to have on the quiver. Um, oh, two-head ogre. D7 two-head ogre. Let's see if I can kill it. Oh, let's go. Okay, that was fantastic. Um, and we're gonna get more intelligence. Alrighty. And since I have robustness, the orc priests are not as terrifying as they normally would be. Behonet gives me Sandblast, which I think I'm gonna pass on. Not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna pass on that. You still don't know how to dodge the last three bosses. It's why you need a perfect early game to save up enough bombs to bomb everything. Going to head oggers with good mage backgrounds is so fun. Oh yeah, it is. You get to get back on them for torturing your melee characters, pretty much. By the way, that's the first ogre that I see the whole game, and it's a two-head ogre. We get the spell on death, which could be something worth thinking about since yeah, I can cast it already. I'm gonna pick it up just in case there's any unfortunate accidents with skeletal warriors or whites, something along those lines. Not impossible for such a thing to happen. And oh boy, how am I missing having a second monitor? Um, it's been a while since I've used a computer without having two monitors. Like easily 5+ years since I've used a computer without having two monitors. Um, for parliamentalists in particular, two head ogres are free experience for characters with Scorch. Um, and also kind of characters with Blink and a good way to deal damage. Oh boy, the Hornet is killing me pretty good. I have Mystic Blast. Okay, am I slow? I'm not slow. I should be able to walk away. You think? No, I cannot walk away. Almost certainly cannot walk away. Maybe if I can Graveclaw the Jack and pin it. Okay, now I can walk away. That was pretty bad. I didn't think that the Hornet was gonna be that much of a problem. See, I was like, oh, I have Scorch. Hornet is just gonna get Scorched to that really quick. And oh, surprise, it didn't get Scorched to that really quick. Mm. That was pretty nasty, and I don't have I still don't have good AoE spells. I mean, I guess I have Zombie Hands, but it is level 5 in two schools that I'm not particularly interested in training at the moment. Maybe Zombie Hands should be its own motivation to train for those schools, but nah. Cactus Giant is also nice, but it's more of the same problem that Zombie Hands has. And Martyr's Knell is it's a thing, a summon, so I don't think I care too much about it. Lots of bees. Here's the thing about the bees. I feel like I can kill them, but I'm worried that they are just gonna poison me and kill me pretty fast. Um, it's just the nature of being a deep elf. You're very glass cannony, but it is quite a fun experience. If you can deal with the whole being glass cannony thing. Considering that I got robustness, and by extension I am significantly tankier than the average deep elf, I think that it is a good idea to take advantage of that extra burst of tankiness and get a little bit of fighting. Um, there's the bees. A bit surprised that Shoutitis hasn't woken them up for me. Obsidian statue. I would absolutely love to kill that. Only Graveclaw reaches it, and I don't think I want to use my Graveclaw charge on that. It has a box of beasts and a tin of tremor stones, and I guess a battle axe and two things that I don't know about. I'll come back for that if I find LRD or Iron Shot or something that gets rid of those things pretty good. Mm, yeah, because none of the spells that I have right now really are good enough to deal with good enough obsidian statue. What is pretty good to have, however, is Toxic Radiance and Ignite Poison. I don't know when I got Ignite Poison, but Ignite Poison Toxic Radiance is definitely an MVP combo for Lair. Very, very high value, so I'm gonna pick it up. And we're gonna get not 19 actually, only 9 alchemy. That should be more than enough. Um, Scorch alone doesn't kill it fast enough before it gets to swing, but Inner Flame plus Foxfires and finally Scorch when it gets in range is trivial. Like if you do Inner Flame, Foxfire, and then Scorch, that is quite the nasty combo to deal with a two-headed ogre or with most enemies really. At the point in the game where you want to be casting those spells anyway. All right, the bees were not really that much of a danger, which is nice. And this guy had curare. Fortunately, I didn't get curated. Getting curated there would have been quite nasty. More bees. We get Stone Arrow. Stone Arrow. Definitely a spell for the quiver. One of the spells for the quiver of all time. Maybe I should learn that. Yeah, I think it's terrible what happens to mercury vapors, to poisonous vapors. In case you're unaware, its range was completely butchered. It used to be full screen range pretty much, and now it has very short range. So that killed all utility that it used to have. And I learned this spell on death for moments like this. How much damage does that do? 3 dice of 16. Yeah, that will kill any undeath that happens to get next to me at this point in the game. Like this Wraith. Dimensional Bullseye, we don't care about that. Yeah, I have not trained for that yet, so cannot really be expecting to cast it. Maybe later. The most boring spell is one of the most beloved. Stun Arrow. Would you say Stun Arrow is the most boring spell? I don't know. I feel like in this game, there's so many encounters that are not that interesting that it's good to have a spell that just gets rid of those encounters. This spell on that to finish it off to guarantee that it is finished off. Um, all right. I was concerned with the Moth of Wrath berserking those things. Fortunately, it didn't happen. This is a Trog Altar Bolt with the Moth of Wrath. If somehow there is another monster in there when you're fighting, that could be a serious problem. We see an unseen horror. Well, we don't see the unseen horror, but that is absolutely an unseen horror. Unfortunately, the unseen horror doesn't stand a chance versus the might of Scorch, right? So we just kill it. Smoke Demon. Mm, I wonder if I should try to kill it with Scorch, Smoke Demon. Oh, is it going around? Oh, hold on. I was under the impression that I was gonna be able to safely fight it from where I was, but I guess not. Boring as in very plain. This kind of spell is nearly eliminated from the game. Absolutely. Yeah, part of me is like surprised by the fact that Crystal Spear is still in the game with the a recent addition of really cool high level spells. You would think that Crystal Spear would either be um, buffed by making it significantly cheaper to cast, or removed from the game, or reworked in some way to make it more interesting and up to par with the new spells. But it stays the same, and by extension, it just falls behind compared to the new spells. Um, I really am just yeah, I'm just not gonna train any more fighting. For now, at least. I want to have toxic radiance. Yeah, I want toxic radiance, and I want it right now. We get momentum strike, which is something that I was looking for earlier. I don't know if we care about it now. All right, that Hellwing got quite nasty. Um, we still have to deal with the smoke demons, stuff of alchemy. That is gonna be helpful at some point. Um, I think it's pretty funny that I have double the amount of HP that I have of mana. Which it doesn't mean that I have little mana. In fact, it is the complete opposite. I have so much mana that I only have double the amount of HP that I have of mana. Um, Curious thing. Being plain is the gimmick. Mm, I should really read those identifies. I've been forgetting about doing that. All right, that wasn't so terrible because offense is the best defense in this game, really. Like, if you can kill things before they deal enough damage to you, you are good. That really is the core fundamental of crawl gameplay. The thing is that while it is as simple as just killing things before they can kill you, most other characters cannot really do that. What made me stream at this time in particular, I was about to fall asleep. Um, which, yeah, falling asleep at 5 p.m. is not ideal. Um, and I was like, okay, if I don't stream right now, like if I don't start stream right now, I am going to fall asleep, and then I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be like 8 p.m. My sleep schedule is gonna be ruined, and I will not stream. So I might as well just start earlier. Also, I started earlier to really take care of the complications that could potentially come from starting stream with a device that I have never streamed with. But fortunately, there weren't really no complications. So I just stream a little bit more than usual. Maybe it is the extra amount of time that I need to finish the character in one stream. The look with the gifts of the look. Thank you for the gifts of the look. I wonder if they'll gifted us off to get the free nitro. By the way, like if any of you uses Discord, there is a promotion in Twitch where if you gift us off, there's like 3 months of nitro for free. So you help me by gifting me a sub, and you also get something out of that, which is the 3 months of nitro. I personally don't really bother paying for Discord or anything subscription based. Really, I try to stay away from those things. But if you use those things, it certainly would be quite helpful if you were to give me subs or give subs in this channel, and that way you could get your nitro, and everyone would be happy with that. So thank you for that, Daluk, if you're still around. Anyway, this terminal looks so weird to me. I gotta tweak it around a little bit more to make it look less alien. Like the color of the rock walls and the color of the cobalt seems strange to me. The font is not really strange. I think that I had grown accustomed to Lucida console, but um, when I switched from playing on Linux originally to playing on Windows, I wanted this font, and the closest thing that I could get was Lucida console. But it was never the same, and like I can feel the difference now. But now, since I've been playing with Lucida console for so many years, it feels strange to not have it. And I was thinking about downloading it for the Steam Deck, but then I remembered that there's like a lot of um, font-based malware around on the internet, and I didn't really want to mess with that. I have not really downloaded much um, unsafe things, if anything, onto the Steam Deck, so I don't really want to, expose it like that to the internet. I generally don't use it as a computer, really. So you've never heard of malware and fonts? Might be some like computer illiterate person bait, but I have heard of font-based malware. I don't know if it really is just make malware that goes directly onto the font file, or if it's something like, oh yeah, you gotta run this exec file to install the font, and that's how they get people that don't know what's up with that with computers and stuff. But I didn't really want to mess with it anyway. Also, this font is fine, definitely not bad. It's called Hack. Um, yeah, I don't dislike it. Oh wait, why am I going deeper? I should maybe go to Lair, or maybe I guess the game that I had Grinder on was the previous one where I died. Okay. Lair. God Inner Flame. I ended up not learning Stone Arrow. It's fine. With the spell setup that I have, I don't think that I'm gonna be missing Stone Arrow. Yeah, this is feeling really good. But it would feel better if I got an Amulet of Mana Regen, which, yeah, we have yet to see something like that. Not that I particularly need it anytime soon, since I have so much mana and I have Behemoth. And I also am a depot, so I already have Mana Regen, so I don't think that we're gonna need mana. We're gonna run into mana problems anytime soon. But just to future-proof a little bit would be quite nice to have. Um, like, is it impossible to have more fun like you can't with a JPG? Uh, you wondered sometimes if TTF files can have anything malicious in them. Yeah, like that's what I was talking about. I am not sure if TTFs can have anything malicious in them. Um, what did we get? New spell? LRD. Okay, that's neat. We are definitely a fan of that. So I'm gonna learn it. As I was saying, I'm gonna learn it. Funny thing, I was looking for LRD earlier. It's good to have access to it. I'm gonna put it to use when I can cast it to kill that obsidian statue and get the experience of Okobols. Um, yeah, Jeremiah has a smite. Yeah, now I'm low on HP and I have still yet to read my scrolls of identify. Okay, I found heal wounds. Maybe I can just walk away from Jeremiah. Is Jeremiah slow like a Baraki? Is that Jeremiah's weakness, that it is slow like a Baraki? Speed 100%, travel 83. So yes, yes, Jeremiah is a weaker unique because you can just walk away from it. Um, Blink range and smite and a pole arm and butterflies, I guess. That's pretty rough. Having a Komodo dragon within melee range is not a good thing with any character, but it is especially bad on something like a deep elf with low amounts of HP. Okay, Boulder Beetle, on the other hand, does not worry me a little bit because I have strong poison magic and ignite poison. So yeah, if you're wondering why I picked up the poison package, well, the poison package is very low investment. Um, I only got 9 alchemy, and I already had enough fire magic to cast ignite poison without really a lot of problem. Combined with my spell casting and Behemoth and my intelligence, so the combination of all of that makes it so that getting the poison package is like really easy, really cheap, and it is quite powerful as well. It just deals amazingly with jack bands, as you have seen. Um, and jack bands really is the thing that I got it for. You gotta have an answer to them because they're really powerful. Really dangerous if you cannot deal with multiple monsters at the same time. 42 damage. And then it doesn't die? Doesn't die? Okay. That was unusual. I thought that I was gonna kill it before it could hit me even once. Oh well. Let's kill Jeremiah. You kill Jeremiah. How much damage am I dealing with Ignite Poison? Jeez. Damage not available, but it's probably quite a bit. Fonts do have code in them. There are safety measures like running in some VM, but it is impossible to say it's perfect. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I wanted to know. I, however, doubt that any malicious code would be something that would work on a Linux-based computer. which the Steam Deck is Linux based. So maybe I'm just like being a little bit too paranoid, but better safe than host when you're playing around with your last computer, right? And unfortunately, I have to say last computer because the other one is kind of out of commission. Um, After the stream ends, I'm gonna try to boot it again. Maybe like it was just the graphics card overheating or something. Um, in which case, like that is definitely not great, but it's a lot more, manageable. We found bug, so at some point I'm gonna get like 15 spellcasting, and I'm gonna learn bog. Let's just start doing that now. Actually, yeah, let's just go for it. It's gonna be great. Let me read all these identifiers as well. No, no, I ran out of blinkings and I accidentally read-identify blinking. Ah, no, no, not like this. Well, I mean that's a shame because I was reading blinking for or like I was reading identify precisely to identify blinking. Ah man, it is unfortunate, but that kind of thing does happen every now and then. What does that mean? It means that I have one blinking left in my inventory, and also means that I can just read identify everything else. Try to find acquirement. Let me think about what we forget here. Probably Seeing Ray. You're not really worried anyway. You get free funds from the official sources, nothing dodgy. If you can get me the official source of Lucida console so I can put it on this computer, I would appreciate it. Uh, yeah, because what I also what triggered all of this was that I googled Lucida console, um, and immediately like I got a bunch of sites that were like Lucida console free font, and at that point I was a little bit concerned. Like I was like, wait a second, maybe I would be getting hosed by doing this way, and I'm better off just waiting and doing more research. And by doing more research, I mean talking about it on chat and having people look it up. I guess. Sometimes that does happen and that does work. And I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, when it comes to the stream, I was going to try to stream way earlier, but then I was like, if I stream now, I'm not really gonna want to stream again. So I'm just gonna wait until I would stream normally. It's a lot of rats. Even with my mana regen and Behemoth, I'm running low on mana, so I'd rather reposition or just walk away from them for a bit, because after all, I do have the depot of mana regen, and so by walking away for a little bit, I can recharge my mana pretty well. With Identify, we get Attraction. We also get Starburst. But I want to get Starburst immediately? Nah, I don't think I care that much about Starburst. I don't dislike the spell. I think it is pretty good, pretty strong as well, but I don't feel like it is what I want with this character right now. What I want is Bog, so I'm just gonna learn that. Yeah, I like Bog a lot. It is one of my favorite spells in this game. I don't know if you know about it, but when it was first introduced into the game, it was so bad. It was a spell that you cast and it gave you a buff where you could walk away, and every tile, every step that you took left behind that tile of bog. The way that the bug exists now. Instead of making a bunch of bug the moment you cast it, it just left behind one tile. So you cast it and it gave you a buff, and then you walked away making your poison bug, and it was so bad. That was so unusable. It only stayed like that for a very short amount of time before it was changed to a very similar thing um, to what we have today, but it was hindered by a single tile of wall. Let's say that, let me go back to the open. Um, Pretend for a second that, oh no, this is perfect. Like, you see this rock wall tile right here. Well, if I cast Bog, as you can see, it surrounds the rock almost entirely, except for these tiles, which the tile of Bog will not place, or like Bog will not place a tile of Poisonous Bog if there is a tile connected to two tiles of wall or something like that. It is something unusual, like something a little bit weird, because you can kind of see that it's not quite the case here. Let me read the description again for the spell. Cannot form on areas adjacent to multiple solid features, nor on areas that lack solid floor like deep water or lava. Yes. So it says multiples. Back in the day, you used to not be able to cast it on, like, if there was a wall, it would protect all of these tiles from being bogged on, pretty much. And it was terrible for Snake, but fortunately it doesn't work like that anymore. um yeah, it's a absolutely brutal spell. That leather armor is really good. I don't think I care about any of the properties that it has, but it is over enchanted, 5 slaying, 5 resistance. On a warrior mage kind of character, I would be very happy to have such an item. However, this is not such a character. Normally, you would run away from Death Yaks, but I have such strong AoE spells already. Just Deep Elf things. That's just how it is. Deep Elf things. I get to kill things that are marked as extremely dangerous with the greatest of ease, thanks to being a Deep Elf. It is quite fantastic. We're gonna get 12 Alchemy, so I can cast Noxious Bog a lot more comfortably. Like, it is already at 1%, but I'm a little bit nervous about casting it with only 9 alchemy, even though I shouldn't. It is enhanced by Behemoth, and I also have 35 intelligence and 14 spell casting, and that's why it is already at 1%. With other characters, it wouldn't be at 1%. It wouldn't be castable at all with the skill levels that I have. Um, Anyway, as you can see, it is a brutal spell. Like, it just kills things here. Yeah, I don't think I even have to cast Ignite Poison on most of these enemies. They just die before they can reach me. It also even deals with monsters that are poison resistant, like that Water Moccasin. Of course, it destroys Death Yaks. Very happy to have received it. I feel rewarded for committing to the path of alchemy early on, because I got Noxious Box so early, and yeah, it's pretty strong. It's like that, like the spell that I used the other day, the Gale's Gabot spell. I got it very early on, and I had such a good time with it. And this time we're also gonna have a good time with Noxious Bog. As you can see, that Hydra got absolutely destroyed by the combination of Bog and Ignite Poison. Yep, and it will just continue like this for a good chunk of the game. Not for the entirety of the game. There will be some parts of the game where that technique, that combination, doesn't really work at all. But where it works real good. Yeah, for this fire elemental, we need to kill it with Mystic Blast because that's my best spell that deals with monsters that are immune or resistant to the stuff that I'm doing. Another bog mind, absolutely. Wyverns fly, so we don't get to do that to them. We do, however, get to scorch them. Therefore, so we just bog and wait. Rupert. What's your chance to destroy me? 20%. I don't have potions or willpower. What a terrible time to not have potions or willpower. I was gonna recast it, but I should leave. Yeah, if you see Rupert, you should just leave. That is the correct thing to do pretty much every time. Rupert has killed you so many times. Rupert is crazy. It's extremely dangerous enemy. Extremely dangerous enemy. Two Catolepe and two Manticores. I should not mess with that. Yep. I was thinking of standing my ground and fighting there, but the Manticores fly, and because they fly, they're immune to Bog. That's the great weakness of Noxious Bog. It is worthless versus things that fly. Bog used to be level 6 dual school, and now, well, when transmutations got removed, it got turned into a level 6 single school spell, which was such a crazy buff. The kind that you normally don't really get to see in this game. Normally, it's the other way around that things get nerfs because of changes in the game that are not really addressed or like changed in any way whatsoever to compensate. But with Bug, it was the other way around. As you see, it got buffed by other changes in the game. And it is a pretty nice buff that I definitely like a lot. That's my 12 alchemy, and now I think we get LRD. Yeah, let's just get LRD. We still have Starburst. Let me think if there's any other spells that I would be interested in getting. Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. I was like, why is it not scrolling down? I was pressing the scroll up button. No, not really. Not really. I feel like I have everything that I want to have from my options. There we go, easy peasy. Fighting all of them at the same time, kind of rough, but fighting them one by one, not a problem. Rupert round 2. How likely is that to kill me? If I'm interested in trying any new fonts for crawl, you recommend Far Code? Fira Code, not Far Code. Fira Code. You played with a bunch of fonts, but that one was the best so far. I think that I am committed to Lucida console. You know, I've been using that for more than 10 years at this point. Um, if I played other terminal-based roguelikes, I would probably try it on another one. But the only one that I really play on is Crawl. Mm, Rupert is in this level, isn't it? Yes, I think that Rupert is in this level. I should probably leave. Since I got marked. I do have to say that, yeah, leaving is gonna be really hard. Wow, jeez. Oh, wow, that was ridiculous. That was crazy. Admire this message log for a couple of seconds. Let's just enjoy it for a little bit because normally this is what Rupert does to you. Rupert gets you, you get destroyed in like two actions. In this occasion, however, I was the one to destroy Rupert in like two actions. You love to see it. I love to see it. Mm, when it comes to this player Ghost, I don't think it matters what it can do because I have this spell on that, right? Bogged down in exclamation marks. Yeah, absolutely. Completely bogged. All over the place. What does this Minotaur have, by the way? I mean, it obviously has jabs. It always has jabs. I can probably kill it, but it would be tricky. Also, I don't see any ghosts in there. Maybe there's no ghosts. What's in here? If there's a scroll blinking, there is one scroll blinking. Okay, I'll come back for that later. I don't think I have to do it now. If there was a player ghost, I would be more willing to do that than dealing with the Minotaur. I have enough Earth magic for Lord D, so I'm just gonna turn it off. Uh, I don't know what to do with this character, and I haven't found any of the juicy high level spells to train for. I guess that this is the perfect moment to train evocations. Yeah, especially since I'm about to go for um, yeah, these experience evocables that I left behind. Now I have LRD and I can kill the statue with no problem at all. So let's just go ahead and do that. And now I can get those experience evocables. I don't have a potion of flight, however. Do I have attraction or like a port? A port is what it's called, and I don't have it. Do I have blink? I do not have that. All right. So funnily enough, I have access to these experience evocables, but only kind of because I cannot reach them. I have them, but I don't have them. Maybe later when I find the potion of flying. Oh, there's a ghost. Huh. The monsters in there were spelling Y. Funny thing. All right. We should be able to deal with a volcano, no problem. I think we already have one source of fire resistance because we're using a scarf of resistance. So I have absolutely nothing to worry about here. This just reminded you of how you found a Ru altar, but it was across lava and you didn't have flying. You think you would have worshipped Ru if it was possible, accessible. Oh, but imagine if I found the Vehement altar blocked behind lava. That would be the saddest thing. I forgot that I can make the font size in the chat larger. And yeah, I'm gonna need that. I was using the phone, but I don't like using the phone for the chat. Using the phone for the chat. Using the phone for the chat. Why did it suddenly unmute on my phone? Weird. I don't like that. Yeah, I'll add it to the list of things that I don't like about using the phone for my streaming experience. Sometimes it just makes me listen to myself. Mm, Okay, these jacks are a joke, as we have already established. I mean, if this spell kills Rupert the way that it does, it is going to kill absolutely everything that there is to kill in this place. That doesn't fly. That is, everything that it can affect, it just completely murders. It's a very all or nothing spell, which I like. I like the feel of using an all or nothing spell like that, where you have the certainty that it will work or that it won't work. And by extension, you know exactly when to use it and when not to use it, and you know like the results that you're going to get. Um, Not a lot of things in Crawl are like that, so you gotta cherish and enjoy the things that are like that. We have two magic mappings, but I think that I am just gonna continue out exploring, see if I can find the thing. We're not particularly close to it. But I mean, it's not like we are spending a lot of time between fights. Since I'm beating things so fast and I have so much mana regen, the downtime between fights is like negligible. Um, so I'm almost certain that I'm gonna find it. We got a Succubus Fridge from Behemoth, but I don't think I'm going to go for it today. Also, Succubus Fridge is a boring spell to me since I've used it so much already. Um, There was a time a couple of versions ago when I was already streaming where it was the best thing to do. Also, Succubus Fridge with mages, and I like that was back when it was like level 6, and I just used it so much that now I am often, not interested in using it. Um, Very nearby. It said very nearby. Oh, here it is. There we go. So lindworms are very fiery creatures, but they have no fire resistance naturally. So Scorch does okay versus them. Um, all right, let's go in. Let's see what we get. I haven't used Toxic Radiance in a while, but it is the correct thing to do versus these lava snakes. Same goes for the fire bats. Fortunately, they don't have that much HP and they die really fast to the poison, because I cannot ignite poison them. Okay, I think this bolt has skeletal warriors and like dumb stuff that shouldn't be in a volcano, and gargoyles and stuff. The gargoyles are gonna be a problem. The skeletal warriors shouldn't be a problem, unless it was changed since the last time that I was here, which is perfectly possible. What a thrill! Excuse me? Exit before seeing any loot. That is ominous. That's not so bad. Did it get nerfed? I feel like it got nerfed. Oh yeah, it got, well, not quite nerfed. I think saying that it got nerfed is a bit underrating the danger that the Farcraft and a Hellhawk can pose at this point in the game. Like, look at how much damage they dealt with my through my poison resistance. So yeah, it didn't quite get nerfed. It got made more intense, which is okay. Yeah, that was fine. Okay, the loot was pretty pitiful. Unfortunately, like the Laya Tank of Flaming is great, but we cannot really make use of it, nor do I feel like it would be a good thing to do with this character, of course. Since I happen to have 4 strength and 35 intelligence, so doing strength related things with this character doesn't really make a lot of sense. Where did the 1 point of strength go? What do you mean by 1 point of strength? As a Conjurer, you start with 4. I think that all mage backgrounds that are not Hedge Wizards start with 4 when you are a Deep Elf. You thought it had 5? Nope, it's 4. All right, pretty easy kill. We get a troll letter, which normally I would be happy to use, but I don't think we can trade away the willpower from the rope. It's just too good of a property. Oh, that ring is pretty good. I think we can probably get rid of the 9 mana that I had and just replace that with the ring or with the staff of alchemy. So my alchemy stuff, which is the bulk of what I'm doing to kill things, is enhanced. All right, so we get a really okay ring. Um, Look at that. 2 pips of fire resistance and resistance to corrosion. No downside. That will be pretty useful later in the game, but for now, we don't need to put it on, and by extension, we don't. We don't have potions of flight yet. Hmm. Back to the dungeon we go. I guess that I can do. Can I kill that gargoyle? Oh, yeah, I definitely can, because I have LRD. You love to see it. Got shafted. Bog, OTR, and Ignite Poison will be legendary in Orc. Yes, I will get to get back on all the suffering that Orc has inflicted upon me throughout the years. Thanks to the poison package, the full poison package. Back in the day, I used to call uh, poisonous vapors, ignite poison, and toxic radiance the poison package. But now it's more like toxic radiance, ignite poison, and bog is the poison package. I find it pretty weird that sometimes enemies just step on the bog um, when they, will die in like 1 or 2 turns of being standing in the bog. Okay, this level was a little bit spicy. Nothing that we cannot um, handle now, but it would have been somewhat problematic perhaps when I first arrived here. Also, that bug didn't last for very long. That was pretty weird. Okay, that was a funny reminder that I probably shouldn't be doing this. That I should probably go to work. Oh yeah, like bring it on, bring it on. I can deal with all of you. As long as nothing flies here, we got this. Oh yeah, to think that at the start I was a little bit concerned about how we were going to deal with large bands of monsters. Now that is definitely not a problem, and it will remain not a problem for potentially the whole game. Potentially the whole game. Helmet of Sea Invisible. I might buy that. We still have to see what's in here. Maybe I need all my money for other things that are more important than the Sea Invisible property. And one more point of armor class as well, because I think I only have a +1 helmet. Um, so yeah, definitely worth it to buy it, but there may be better things to buy with the limited amount of money that I have. Battlesphere. I am also going to pass on that. Once upon a time, I used to really like Battlesphere when it was part of the Conjurer starting book, but now not so much. Now I pretty much never pick it, even though I do not think that it is like a bad thing to have or anything. Mm. Oh, it summons stuff if it hits you. Well, it is. Yes, of course, of course. You can LRD it. Would be pretty weird if you couldn't LRD the Obsidian Bat. It is literally called Obsidian Bat. Okay, but we destroy it before we LRD it. There we go. That was a little bit scary. Obsidian bats are definitely something that you cannot really trivialize. Since they fly, they are completely immune to bug, which is a shame. Can you LRD a stone giant? No, because they're not made out of stone. They're only called stone giant because their skin is hard as a stone or something like that. What do we train for next? Well, fighting, I guess, because I don't know what else to train for. With gray skin, almost as hard as rock. Yes, almost as hard as rock, but not rock made skin, like with gargoyles and stuff like that. Warlord. Not the greatest thing to see with without full resources. So I'm just gonna play it safe and withdraw a little bit into this hut. We should be fine here. Yeah, because it doesn't seem to have a launcher. If it did, it would be a lot more difficult to deal with. Okay, we get branded gloves and a branded helmet. Um, well, I say branded, but it might just be enchanted gloves, really, more than anything. Um, I'm still gonna buy them if there's nothing else to buy. Retreating into this house was the correct thing to do since there were so many enemies accompanying the warlord, of course. That bolt always places a lot of them. Funny thing, since the game looks different a little bit for me, I'm having a little bit of difficulty identifying things that I would otherwise not have any issues identifying. Um, yeah, pretty strange occurrence. Imagine dropping large rocks on the ground one by one to LRD them later. I don't think that was ever possible, but you can LRD Earth Elementals that you summon, which is definitely something that comes close to that. There is Saint Roca, which should definitely, absolutely not be a problem. When I say that what I have can deal with anything that is not immune to it, I mean it. Yes, I mean it. So Saint Roca dies pretty easily. Tough luck. Better generate with a Ring of Flight next time. Um, Not possible, but link traps like that would be tedious and funny. Yes, very Railbird-like gameplay. Yeah, I'm just training fighting and spellcasting because I really don't know what to train for. Really don't know what to train for. You know, Saint Roca almost kills me with smites alone. That was a little bit scary, even though I did completely dominate Saint Roca. Um, yep. Puny orcs stand no chance versus Archmage Elf spamming alchemy spells. I don't even have to cast Ignite Poison. Beautiful, and we get a bookshop. Haven't used Mapping Gateway in a while. It is one of my favorite summon spells because it's funny because it summons a tentacle with chaos branded melee, but the thing is that it also summons a guy that is immune to many things. It does a lot of damage. It has some pretty decent HP combined with its immunities. Um, it is a great thing to have. It's funny because orbs of fire cannot affect Malin Gateway tentacles in any way whatsoever. Like they're immune to magic, so they cannot be malmutated or anything, and they're also immune to fire. So they are perfect for dealing with orbs of fire because the orbs of fire cannot do anything against them. Um, Otherwise, they're kind of situational, but they're still pretty powerful allies to have. Among the summon spells, it really is one of my favorite ones, but I don't really use it that much. Hmm, yeah. All right, none of those spells are exciting. We find Brilliance, which I'm gonna buy because it's unknown. How have I not found Potions of Flight? Surely that unidentified potion has to be Flight. It is Flight, okay, so we can now get those experience evocables that I was having a hard time obtaining earlier. We had RD the Bat. More intelligence. Pitted robe. And also embroidered cloak. But I highly doubt that the cloak is going to be interesting enough for me to buy. Okay, so we get an item that gives me 2 pips of willpower and 4 dexterity versus the one that I currently have, which gives me 2 extra armor class and less willpower. Like the dexterity doesn't really matter that much. I have no evasion really. Um, it feels nice to be so powerful that you can be surrounded and you can be like, okay, I'm not gonna die. Like we're fine here. Ah, you love to see deep elves. They're so good. And by the way, I guess that it is an okay thing to mention at this point since people probably didn't hear it since I mentioned it early on. I have a problem with my computer. Also, I accidentally went into Elf. Not that it matters since I'm not going to go into the Desolation Assault. I have a problem with my computer, which is preventing me from streaming in my desktop computer. Right now, it's the first time that I stream on the Steam Deck. Fortunately, it's been going well, no problem. The program says 0 drop frames, but I find it pretty weird, not uncomfortable or anything. Yeah, why is night color active? Okay. Okay, at what point did that activate? And that's why everything was looking so weird. Well, not everything, but some things were looking pretty weird. Anyway, um, So if you want to contribute towards me potentially like buying the replacement of the graphics card, which I think is what's on the process of dying, that would be pretty helpful. Like there's the donation bar at the bottom there. It was supposed to be for like everyday expenses, but I think that I will have to reroute that towards getting a new graphics card for the computer, like a replacement one. Wouldn't be anything too expensive. It might be just like a second-hand one, but yeah, it would be pretty useful if you could contribute towards that. I would definitely appreciate it. Anyway, we are done with Orc, and I should maybe buy this helmet of See Invisible actually. I'm missing boots. No, no boots, only a barding. Wow. Okay, bardings are really rare. So having a barding is a pretty funny thing. No, I don't think I care about the cloak or the Randart skill mail. I think that I'm just gonna continue on my journey of death and destruction in the dungeon. Oh, when I saw the scroll, I was like almost certain it was gonna be acquirement. Not for a second did I think that it was going to be silence. I'm glad that I didn't read it in a more inconvenient spot because that could have been deadly, literally deadly, run-ending levels of disastrous mistake. Fortunately, however, we managed to survive that. Okay, we get Rime Blight, which I feel like I should get. Why do I feel like I should get it? Because even though it is a necromancy spell, it's still one of the new spells, and my plan with this deep elf or with deep elves in general is to try the spells that I have yet to try from the newly added spells in 0.32, I guess. So they're not so new, but they're still pretty new to me. Um, and Rime Blight I have not tried, so I should probably get it. Yeah, and by get it I mean get it and like put in the effort to learn it and cast it and all that jazz. Necromancy. We're gonna need probably like 14. I can probably get away with 14. Even though it's level 7 dual school, I have so much spell casting and so much intelligence that 14 in bot school should be more than enough. With most other species at the level 7 mark, I start getting more than 2 levels in the school per spell level um, in order to cast certain things. That scroll is almost guaranteed to be acquirement, so just gonna get it. Just a couple of nice things to buy here. Yep, got a scroll of acquirement for how much money? Let me see if it's here. For 26 gold, I got a scroll of acquirement. Okay, that ring is really good. The boots are also really good. I'm probably gonna buy the boots because I don't have them, but the ring is fantastic. The ring is fantastic, and I don't have a good source of poison resistance. Steam Deep Elf Conjurer, absolutely. That should be the title of the stream. Steam Deep Elf Conjurer. No, I think that we get the boots. The poison resistance would be nice. We don't have a we don't have. Oh no, does this give poison resistance? It does. Wow, that's crazy. The Staff of Alchemy gives poison resistance. I didn't even think about that when I was using it. I was just like, oh, it will make my my box spam better, and pretty much everything else that I've been doing, it will make it better. Um, that is kind of crazy. Not gonna lie, I am a fan. So I'm very happy about that, and that does mean that I don't have to worry about the poison resistance thing. So I'm just gonna get the boots. And you may be thinking, oh, those boots don't look that amazing. And you would be correct, they're not great. But I didn't have boots, and they are better than not having any boots. In fact, they are better than plus two boots if I was to find them soon. So why not? Why not? I also have a decent amount of money. Like the acquirement was effectively free. It was super cheap, so I didn't really feel like acquiring money. Even if it was like 1,000 gold, it didn't really feel like something that I needed to do. Might as well take the the nice thing that I have access to immediately, pretty much, instead of hoping for a hypothetical, hopeful, better thing that I could or could not get. Um, no, not right now, Gargoyle. I don't have mana. How did I run out of mana there? That was pretty strange. Staves give resistance to their elements, yes. And I didn't even think about. By the way, there's the boots. Didn't even think about that. But when alchemy, when transmutations and poison were merged into alchemy, um, the staff of poison got turned into a staff of alchemy, and the staff of poison used to give poison resistance, but now it is the staff of alchemy, the one that gives poison resistance. Um, so yeah, that's nice. I don't think I want to buy any of these things. They're overpriced. I would say that I am resistance to electricity away from being able to do elf. If I can get that, so I can do my favorite routing, which is elf before Lair branches, that would be quite convenient. Have you ever used a Staff of Earth for the swap resistance? Yes, I think that I have at some point, but I mean, it's not great. In general, I don't like using swaps um, for any reason, really. Because I think that it's just cumbersome and it interrupts the flow of gameplay. I prefer not to do it. If I have the option, I will definitely avoid doing such a thing. Oh, that was a Bolts guarding party. That is quite something. Okay. And all these antique shops are undesirable because the thing about antique shops is that if they sell you unidentified items, the items are super cheap. For example, that acquirement that I just bought a couple of minutes ago. On the other hand, if the items are identified, they cost more. And by extension, they are less valuable or less interesting to you, the player. We found a buckler, so I'm probably going to be wearing that, at least until I find a Norval of energy. Cannot help but feel that I am running into a death trap. Oh yes, I am running into a death trap. Look at that. The second Central Warrior is the thing that really makes me unnerved here. Okay. Oh, come on, stop. I really want to leave, but I didn't want to walk away with the barbs on because I felt like something like a Centaur Warrior could catch up to me and take advantage of the self damage that I would receive while running away. At least this Centaur Warrior is next to me. Okay, can I walk away now? Yeah, the answer is yes, because Cyclopes are pretty slow, therefore easy to walk away from. Gohan may be doing the swap heavy gameplay well by making enemy encounters not as numerous but more impactful on average. Yeah, the thing is that I mean, I guess that might be a good thing about Kochmind, but it very much doesn't fit with what I want from games like these. I want to be constantly fighting and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to see an enemy and have my first reaction be like, I don't want to fight that. No, I want to fight that. I always want to fight that. That's why I like Reef Wizard so much, because it's always in that game. It's like 100% I want to fight that. Um, man, I like that game so much. 1, 2. I mean, 2 is fine. Yeah. Let's put it like this: if I had to play for a year every stream, Reef Wizard 2 or Crawl, I feel like I would play Reef Wizard 2. Um, it's actually closer than I originally thought when I was starting to say that phrase. Um, but I would still play Reef Wizard 2 instead of Crawl for like a year of streams. So many center warriors. You know, I really don't like seeing center warriors. They're quite powerful. Phantasmal warrior. Okay, every skeletal warrior and phantasmal warrior and stuff like that that I see, I am constantly justified in my decision to get this spell undead early on when I got access to it. Rain Blight is at 17%, so no, okay. I for a second I was afraid that it would only work on monsters that are within melee range. What happened there? A Stygian plague fills the troll's body. What? Is it not smite targeted? It's not smite targeted, it's a beam. It doesn't check willpower, right? Already infected. Shards of blighted ice hit the Cyclops. Cyclops is affected with Rime Blight. I have to say that so far I'm not a fan. That takes too long to do its thing. Yeah, I can see how people would consider Rime Blight to be the least exciting one of the new spells. It's too expensive, it's single target. Well, by too expensive I mean level 7 dual school. Um, compared with other things that are level 6 dual school and do more. Like permafrost. Permafrost is insane. Another Rime Blight, not Enjoyer. Yeah, like I mean, it's single target. I guess it kills things. Like you cast it, and the thing that you cast it on will eventually die, but it's not even full screen range. I bet it's not even six screen or six range, and it's only been 6 ranged right now since since I'm a worshipper of Behemoth, like Behemoth is helping me cast it. But I feel like I can kill many more things a lot faster if I am casting other spells, um, which is not amazing. No, yeah, the gameplay that this thing incentivizes is not particularly fun. You cast it and then you run for your life, and that often kills things. Yeah, it's not amazing. Spriggan spell, yeah, it kind of feels like a Spriggan spell. I wonder what Spriggan aptitudes are for the related schools. Spriggan. They have -1 Necro, -2 eyes. Okay, so it is a Spriggan spell, but the Spriggans are terrible at casting spells in those schools. Or, well, not terrible. They're like a little bit below average, but the thing is that it's a level 7 spell. You cannot just cast a level 7 spell while being below average at casting spells in those schools. Um, -2 Necro and -1 Ice Magic is pretty rough for a level 7 spell. Maybe it should be level 6. Oh, wait, what do we have here? Every time I see a Skeletal Warrior, I'm immensely happy to have gotten this spell on that. Like, it's so good. It's so good. There's also Phantasmal Warriors and crazy stuff like that that feels like I shouldn't have to fight it this early on. Um, Feels really good to have access to a clean answer for those things. Nothing that requires me to jump through hoops and stuff like that. Spriggans look awkward to play because every skill that you want much of has terrible apps. But what if you look at it in comparison to Mommy? Uh, you also have to keep in mind that Spriggans don't get boots, uh, they don't get globes, and they don't get um, most armor. They get dragon armor and they get robes, pretty much. Mummies get everything. So mummies also have much better HP than Spriggans do. While their aptitudes are unequivocally much worse than Spriggan aptitudes, they are a lot more palatable in my opinion because they're tankier. So that means that, that there's less fights that you're just gonna be like, oh, I guess I just die now, because of being a mummy compared to being a Spriggan, where you get smitten once or twice, and if you're not dead, you're close to death. Um, so yeah, let's see how we do on D14, or we could also go buy or get those experience evocables on the floor. Yeah, sure. Because now I have my flight. I can just blink in. That is also a thing that I could try. It's gonna take a while, but only took 4 attempts. Oh, look at this! I didn't clear the 8 in its entirety. Why did I skip the 8? The jacks made me skip the 8? I mean, not like it matters. I can kill. Oh, was there Joseph and the jacks? Whatever. I can definitely clear the 8 now. No problem. So much in fact that, yep, goodbye Joseph. No problem indeed. We are lacking intelligence. Not this time. Switch to Che. Yeah, definitely. To fix my intelligence problem, I should switch to Che. Oh, wait, these are vampire mosquitoes. Cannot poison those with the poison package. In fact, vampire mosquitoes are kind of the perfect counter to what this character has been doing mostly. Not to all of what this character has been doing, because I do have Dispel on Death, but they counter most other things. Unfortunately, the Centaur Warrior there is the most powerful enemy that I was facing, so killing the rest of the cohort doesn't really do enough. Um, yes, this would be a good time to have Gale's Gabot or um, Lesser Beckoning or something like that, so that Centaur Warrior doesn't just shoot at me. This could be pretty awkward because of that. Okay. Fortunately, it got bad rolls or something. It didn't deal enough damage. Wait, I don't want to drop these. Brand weapon. Okay, maybe I do want to drop those. I don't feel like I say it enough these days, but I definitely always think about it. Thank you for liking my stream and contributing. It definitely helps a lot to keep things afloat. Um, During the first post crawl period of the stream, things were pretty rough, but the supporters that stuck around when I said that I wasn't really going to be putting that much crawl on YouTube anymore, definitely carried the whole thing between the people who donate and the contributors on Patreon, and of course the people who subscribe on Twitch. Yeah, it's been huge. Mm, I was thinking about it, and I don't think anyone who has a subscriber badge for my, like not a subscriber badge, but like a founder badge. I don't think there's any people who have founder badges for my channel who still watch. Or if they do, they definitely don't use the chat. Yeah, I don't remember when was the last time that I saw one of them. This is pretty bad. Hmm. Oh, that was terrible. Um, that center warrior got in a couple of really good hits at a very inconvenient time. Like I was just done fighting something that also got good damage rolls against me. Um, the combination of those two things made it so that I almost died. That came pretty inconveniently close. Um, but not panicking when you're playing a character like this that is so fragile is super important. There's almost always things that you can do since you're so overwhelmingly powerful in normal encounters. Encounters where everything kind of goes the way that it should be going, you're really not going to have a lot of trouble. Which means that when you do have situations like the one that you just saw, you're going to have the resources to survive that kind of thing. And I'm not even talking about scrolls of blinking. As you can see, I have two. I have found three in the whole game, one of which I unfortunately re-identify, as is often the case, and the two that I have in my inventory. But it's really not been a necessity of mine to use scrolls of blinking, and I hope to keep it that way because they're too valuable to be using this early in the game. There we go. This is kind of what I meant when I said overwhelmingly powerful. Like, plenty of characters would have issues with ogre bans like that, but this one, yeah, it's nothing for this one. Okay, that's a lot of monsters that cannot open doors, so might as well close the door on them and come back later. I don't have to fight them now. Wait. Wait, how was that door opened? Unless it's a different seven-headed Hydra. No, it's not. Oh, yeah, there were multiple exits. Alright, that's fine. At least they had the decency to let me regen my resources. Little bit of Noxious Vogue, and we reach 6 pips of piety with Behemoth. I guess we reached that momentarily before, and then we went back down, and then we went up again. Behemoth's piety gain is really, really slow. Which is funny because Behemoth is one of those gods that likes it when you kill things, and that is the thing that you're doing the most frequently whenever you're playing this game. But still, Behemoth piety gain is really slow. Behemoth gave me Freezing Cloud. I don't think that I am really interested in picking that one up. Let me read Rime Blight again. Yeah, they take damage that doesn't check armor class or evasion, which is good. And it's called damage, so it can be resisted. Charges of crystalline ice may erupt violently from their body, damaging nearby enemies and even spreading the affliction to others. In living holy or demonic creatures, this disease is especially virulent, being of the necromantic energies released by its host suffering. As they approach the point of death, it will accelerate rapidly, devouring the last vestiges of their body and leaving nothing behind but a twisted pillar of Stygian ice. Okay. So right now it deals 2 dice of 9 and 3 dice of 17 whenever it explodes. 2 dice of 9 per turn. It's kinda cool, but I don't really like it. Like, you know what I don't like about this spell. It kills things, and it does so with a lot of consistency, it seems, but it takes so long and it's single target. Like, maybe if it was a smite targeted and you could affect like a 3x3, then it would be a level 7 dual school spells power level, like worthy of that power level. But now, as it is, I don't know. I am not really convinced. Anyway, I think we can keep going. We get Snake and Swamp. Swamp should be easier than Snake because more open, and also not a lot of things here are weak to, or like are resistant to bug. Scrolls of Identify are useless now. I identified everything too fast. Last game I played, I don't think I identified everything. Fireball. I really was thinking that Freezing Cloud was gonna be the last one before Behemoth started giving me the level 9 spells. But I suspect that there may still be a long way to go until then. Have I received any of the new spells other than Rime Blight? I guess not. I guess only Rime Blight. Um, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna miss playing Deathlock a bit because I like that game, but cannot really play it if it's gonna kill my computer. Not that I could even if I wanted to, because now the computer, it's not. I'm not getting video output, so yeah. But it's fine. Ouch. That turn I received a lot of damage. Yeah, having a Bunyip in melee range is definitely not ideal when you have such bad defenses. Okay, I think that it's time to turn off the training of these things, since it's pretty clear that Rime Blight is not really something that I should be focusing on. And just train fighting while I wait for my next impactful spell to train towards. Vampire Mosquitoes. Easily killable with Mystic Blast. Or Dispel Undead if I really feel like doing that. Dispel Undead should one-shot them very consistently. I was thinking about how to deal with that Swamp Dragon, because I think that Swamp Dragons specifically are a good counter to what this character is doing. Since they fly and they're poison resistant, they're kind of difficult to kill. Worthy of note, by the way, would probably not be that difficult to kill if I had picked up Stone Arrow earlier. But anyway, since I don't have it, I think that Rime Blight is actually the correct spell to use for dealing with Swamp Dragons specifically. Most of the things here do die to Bog, so we are obviously gonna be using that a lot. And I love that spell so much. It's so good. Ouch. The bloated husk exploding dealt 43 damage. Man, that's some pretty good rolls that those things are getting on me. A shame. Yeah, Blight doesn't really feel like the protagonist spell, but it is. I guess that it can be an okay support thing. Wait, does it wear off before it? Why did the Swamp Dragon recover from Brine Blight? Why, for such a spell, you would think, oh, it's guaranteed to kill, right? Like it never wears off. It just is a touch of death on the monster. But it very much is not the case. Hmm. I'm thinking that I should maybe get Borg, since I have a Necronomicon, so I have Borg right here. But the question is, do I want to get Borg? No. No, I don't. Casting that spell feels bad, I think it's pretty funny to have a spell with this, which is designed in such a way that not only is it difficult to cast and it requires a lot of investment, but whenever you cast it, it feels bad. Like it feels like you're doing something that you very much shouldn't be doing. And that is Borg. In case you don't know, it is a spell that heals you to full HP, no questions asked. But the thing is that it reduces your max HP for the rest of the game. There's no way to increase your max HP um, once it has been lowered by Borg. It's not like it drains you, it straight up reduces the maximum. I guess you can still get more if you train fighting and get robust and that kind of thing, but um, it reduces the max HP that you have. So it very much is a spell that feels bad to cast in not every circumstance, but in plenty of circumstances. It feels like if you cast it, you are already done goofed, right? On the other hand, I guess it can be okay to, avoid death in a situation where you otherwise be almost guaranteed to die, if not just straight up guaranteed to die. That is a nice spell to have access to. But I would rather put that experience towards, something else. Something in a school that I actually want to use instead of necromancy. That's a lot of swamp dragons, which are unfortunately the best enemy to deal with me, like the best enemy against me. Sounds like a spell that you get just in case when you're already in necromancy. Yeah, pretty much. That's always been how Borg works. You know what would be real nice to have here? Fridge. And I think that I was offered Fridge earlier, and I said no. I do see that I have Permafrost, and I'm probably gonna forget about. Let's see. Maybe I do forget about Blight because I think that I don't like it that much. It really is not a great spell in my opinion. Pales in comparison quite drastically compared to the other ones. Um, this is pretty awkward. You know what? I feel like if I don't blink here, I'm gonna die. Quite a nasty ambush at the entrance. Also, how am I so poisoned with poison resistance? Well, I guess I have potions of curing for that. That is exactly what I wanted to see. Exactly the result that I was aiming to get. Now this Ghost Crab is full HP. Yeah, I don't have a good way to deal with it. Nice time for a miscast. A 3% miscast. Another 3% miscast. You love to see it. I am amnesiaing that spell. The moment that I can, I'm getting rid of that. That spell is fired. And potentially vetoed. Like, I don't think I'll ever consider that spell anymore. Until it gets reworked anyway, because it's so far behind the other new fancy spells that I would not be surprised in the slightest if it was to get reworked or buffed in a very noticeable way in the near future. So you may have forgotten about it because I don't think I've used evocations a single time, but I did train evocations. So in this situation, I think that maybe trying to paralyze the Bonjeep, except that even if you train evocations, it still is so worthless versus so many enemies. I mean, I guess Bonjeeps have weaknesses in the form of not having really any resistance, but willpower is not a weakness that Bonjeeps have. Tragic. I can, however, use that. Yeah, the Bonjeep blinks, and so I kill it before it kills me. Okay, can I please rest my mana? I guess not. Prime Blight? Will it? Oh, it won't work because I have 1 mana. I have 3 magic. How much ambrosia? 4. Yeah, sure. Okay, this is one of those situations where I wished it lasted for like 3 turns, and instead of that, it's lasting for way too long. Oh yeah, it lasted for so long that now I have enemies next to me. Delightful. This is getting really, really, really inconvenient. Like I am not liking how things are going, levels of inconvenient. For a second, I was thinking that it would be terrible if I was to get hit by the Rime Blight from the Leonoma because it was next to me. But I am glad to see that it doesn't happen. Yes. Shards of ice erupt from the Leonoma's body. Tendrils of ice devour the Leonoma's body. Plasma beam. That is a funny spell, but it is air fire. Yes, and I don't really have those. So I don't think I'm grabbing Plasma Beam. Whenever you play in console, you see bunyips. You think of them as large bunnies. What are they? Bunyip. Looks like a seal thing. Let's look it up on the internet. Bunyip. Ah, it is a mythological Australian creature. I see. Physical description of bunyips vary widely. Okay, cool stuff. Now let's not die. Swamp Dragon recovers from Rime Blight. Yeah, you see, I feel like if I'm casting a level 7 dual school spell, um, that level 7 dual school spell should be like a delayed insta kill on the monster. Like, it should not wear off, period. That is the bare minimum. It should not wear off, period. And I feel like it should be way more than that. Like, it should be a 3x3 targeter that doesn't wear off. Um, oh man, and the amount of miscasts that I'm getting on it as well really hurts. I am absolutely going to get rid of it the moment that I can, get out of here. I feel like I've been stuck in this fight forever, for like half an hour. This is pretty exhausting. If it's a level 7 to school spell, it better be better than Irradiate. Yes, yes, like, come on. Is that really too much to ask for? Irradiate is a pretty good spell, but it is level 5. And it's also being hit with nerfs again and again, and it is still a really good spell. Um, I feel like asking for a spell to be better than Irradiate if it is 2 whole levels higher than Irradiate, same amount of schools, not unreasonable. I also don't have good spells to deal with a Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, Will-O-Wisps are also difficult for me to deal with. Wow. 3 casts of Grave Claw got the job done. 2 dice of 14. You think it would fall off, and I guess it kind of does in a different way, which, like, with other spells, you would really want to spam them like crazy, right? And I guess that you very much cannot do that with Grave Claw. It is designed in such a way that it is impossible to spam. But when you need a cheap spell to finish a fight, that is definitely something to keep in mind. Okay, I was able to get out, and I highly suspect that the rune is in here. Yeah, it's a shame. I feel like there were a lot of enemies in here that I had to fight outside of this vault, and as is often the case, I would rather just be standing here and fight everything, because that would result in a much easier fight for me. All right, we got rune number 1. I was gonna leave, but I might as well just finish this. Um, didn't even give a thought to the possibility of doing elf before Lair branches, but we didn't really find resistance to electricity, so no elf before Lair branches this time. Okay, let me see if I can walk. Okay, we went for the Dispel on Death there, and I guess as a happy upside of training so much Necromancy, my Dispel on Death is really powerful, 3 dice of 30. So we can deal with ghost scraps, no problem. Of course, the everlasting downside of Dispel Undead still exists. For some reason, it is melee only range. Melee range, pretty bad. For a character like this, I mean, other characters can definitely build around to deal with that downside in a much more convenient way. But a deep elf, even a deep elf with robust, I don't know. I don't know. I wonder what other games I can stream on the Steam Deck. Hmm. Oh, Ghost Gavot. I definitely want that. Okay. Requirement. That looks like a money acquirement to me. Amulet of normal region. Okay, it's better than not having any amulets, and I have 0 amulets. How weak is it? It's pretty weak. Rhyme Blight. You'd be surprised you couldn't play most indie games on it. Oh, you mean the Steam Deck? It's okay, but the thing is that streaming puts a strain on the device as well. Like it is resource intensive somewhat. Like when it comes to playing games, I can play anything really. Anything that I would be interested in playing anyway, except maybe for Deadlock. Um, I don't think that, or like I know that doesn't have a Steam Deck version yet to begin with. So anything that I could possibly want to play except for Deadlock, I can play on the Steam Deck. The thing is, can I play those games and stream them at the same time? That is the question. Yeah, like you know the kind of games that I like to play, like Star of Providence and Streets of Rage. Um, I was thinking of playing a little bit of Magic Arena as well. Can I play those? Can I stream those on the Steam Deck? Because I know I can play all of them on the Steam Deck, but can I stream them is the question. I guess we will find out in the coming days if my computer refuses to cooperate, or I guess if the graphics card refuses to cooperate. My hopes is that it was just like some kind of overheating problem, and maybe it is fixed now. And yeah, I really, really hope that it just fixes itself. Like it has done so a couple of times in the past. I just leave it alone for a while, for a couple of hours, and then come back, try to turn it back on, and it works. If it doesn't work like that this time, I really don't know what to do. Um, there's no way Star of Providence is unstreamable in the Steam Deck. I would like to hope that it works. Yes. Do we want to do bolts immediately? Yeah, that spell is definitely not good enough to make it. If with those spell slots, what I'm gonna do is get the Girls Gavot, which yeah already guarantees. Yeah, I know of that spell. Like I know that spell's reputation, and yeah, definitely a good fit for the team. And we also have another Amnesia that we can use to forget about. Before I read it, Mystic Blast? No. Okay, I guess that I don't have anything that I want to forget about. There was another level 6 that I wanted to learn, wasn't it? Ah, Permafrost. Yes, I want to learn that. You've been trying Sword of the Stars the Pit. You're having mixed thoughts about it. If you want me to play it on stream, you can always provide me with a copy of the game, and I will definitely play it at some point. That's generally how it goes. What is that game about? Sword of the Stars the Pit. You don't even know if you like it. It reminds you of Kokomind. Oh, if it reminds you of Kokomind, then do not provide me a copy of the spell. I was gonna say of the game. Yeah, if it reminds you of Kokomind, keep that away from me, because I'm probably not gonna like it either. I am exhausted. Yeah, the crawl is difficult to stream. I feel like if I keep playing, I'm gonna just die because this character is very powerful because it's a deep elf, but it is very fragile as well. Once again, because it is a deep elf, so I think that I should just leave it here for today. Hopefully, try to make my computer work. You know what the most frustrating thing about this is? The most frustrating thing about the whole um, GPU not working thing. I am used to fixing these kind of things when I have like a computer related problem. I'm used to fixing it on my own. But I highly suspect that is not something that I can fix. I've seen some fixes for it on the internet, and it's like reballing the GPU and stuff like that. And I definitely don't have the means to reball a GPU. Not to mention that even if I had the means to do it, I don't know how to do it, and I feel like I would just end up ruining it. So yeah, it is definitely not a nice situation to be in. And let's assume that I could get someone to fix it by rebolting it or something like that. I don't even know anyone that fixes GPUs, and I don't know how expensive that would be. So yeah, it's a pretty nasty situation to be in. My bet is that I'm probably just gonna get another GPU, maybe a used GTX 1070 or something like that. I've seen some for cheap on Facebook, um, or an RX 580, which is what I used to have back in the day, an RX 580. Um, those are what I could afford and definitely what I could use to stream most of the things that I stream on this channel anyway. You feel like I could like nuclear throne based on what I was saying about my preferences? I would have to give it a try or see some gameplay for it. So yeah, maybe one of these days.